Ready? Play.
Aryna Sabalenka somehow has not dropped a set this tournament, despite almost losing several of them and, being pushed by Marie Bushkova and Raducanu and now Elise Mertens in what was a fun match that was back and forth for 2 sets and probably, was probably a little bit disappointing for the people watching that didn't go 3. Jack, how impressed are you that Sabalenka has not dropped a set yet?
Yeah, I was super impressed. I mean, it's been quite an up and down level from her. She's very often not found her weapons from the word go, and there's been little rough patches throughout the match. But she really has brought it when the points have been big. Some points in particular against Raducanu from the other night coming to mind. I think she drop shotted Raducanu on set point at one point. Did not see that coming. Would never have picked that from Sabalenka. And there you go. It was a lot of stuff like that. And it was the same with Mertens as well. Like there was loads of little moments Mertens could have started to take control of it, and Sabalenka kept trusting her weapons. And it's not easy to do. And people kind of forget, even watching pro tennis players, you're still gonna have that doubt, and it's not easy to keep going for it, even if you're Sabalenka. Maybe especially if you're Sabalenka. She's had matches in the past where things have spiraled away from her a bit, but she just keeps trusting her game plan, and it worked out. It's seriously impressive.
It's to me it is impressive, and I think it shows to me that she has bounced back really well from the disappointment at that French Open. There were some doubts, but Sabalenka is probably one of the most mentally resilient players on tour. That's one of the reasons why she's the world #1, in addition to just having such a complete game at the moment. And just finds the weapons when you need them. Exactly right, Jack. And putting pressure exactly when she needs to. I mean, that tie break, she was super impressive to get that sort of mini break right at the end and kind of finally break Mertens' spirit. Mertens was up in that set. Zach, where are you at with Aryna Sabalenka right now?
Yeah, so I believe that going into this tournament, there were 4 players that even had a shot against Sabalenka. Coco Gauff being one of them, no longer in the draw. Rybakina, no longer in the draw. And then we've got Mira Andreeva and Iga are the other 2. And I don't think that, at least for me, I don't see any world in which either of them is considered the favorite going into that. She's the world #1 for a reason. She just mashes the ball. I mean, she just hits the ball so friggin' hard. And on this surface, I don't really see how anybody outside of that group of 4 should ever be expected to win a set. The fact that they were close to me is more surprising that she hasn't dropped a set so far. She's just that good.
I mean, do you think, Zach, that they were that close because the opponent stepped up and really pushed it, or do you think Sabalenka kind of let them in a bit?
I think she let him in a little bit. I think she's finding her footing, like as a lot of players still are on grass. Earlier in the chat, there was a question, I think, from Ghosty about Mouratoglou had said, that the grass court season was too short, and the lead up to Wimbledon is too short. I completely agree with that. I think this is a great example why. I mean, she final, it feels like yesterday, right? And I would like to see, I would actually like to see them eliminate the indoor season and then use that time to give players a little bit longer of an off season and a little bit longer on the grass. Being on the grass is a good thing, tennis wise.
Absolutely. Well said, Zach. And look, I'm not going to complain about it. I do think that having more grass court tournaments ahead of Wimbledon would make a big difference, especially for players kind of getting a footing on the surface a bit sooner, and maybe would make Wimbledon a little less crazy year on year, especially on the women's side. However, that is probably not going to happen because that's going to require Wimbledon to either move later or the French Open to move earlier. And I don't see either of those things happening, to be honest. Possible that Sabalenka could lose someone. I think there's 1 or 2 names in that draw that can beat her, but you are right, she is going to be the heavy favorite. The question is if, as she progresses through the draw, whether the pressure of potential of getting over the line in a Grand Slam final, which she's fallen short of twice now this season, is going to get to her. and I think that will make a difference on who based on who the opponent is that she deals with. Yeah, I think Jack, any more thoughts before we talk about Sabalenka's quarterfinal opponent?
There was one other player that I thought has the potential to beat her actually, and she's still here. Anisimova, kind of.
Oh,
I was thinking of from the start of the tournament, definitely deserves a shout out. Kind of person who can take the ball out of Sabalenka's hands.
And proved she has proved that she can do in the past.
Yeah, exactly. So a little bit scary for Sabalenka, maybe. I mean, are we ready to talk about Siegemund at all?
Yeah.
Insane run by Siegemund. Obviously, the records are insane. I think she might be the oldest person to make the quarters now. Is that right, in Wimbledon?
What, in history or just in the Open era?
In the Open era.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, she's got to be up there with the age that she's at. And it's a second Grand Slam quarterfinal for Laura Siegemund. And she seemed pretty comfortable in a rain-disrupted match against Solana Sierra. Experience kind of tells there. And she's a tricky player to play on grass.
Yeah, I mean, the Keys match was insane. And that's obviously the kind of stuff she'll be hoping that she can do against Sabalenka. And will it maybe be enough to disrupt Sabalenka a little? My gut instinct is no. And the way that Sabalenka rattles the ball off the serve is not really the same for Keys. I still think Keys can be quite up and down off the return, where Sabalenka, that tends to be her calling card. I think even when she's kind of like going up and down, she is very good at taking control of the point from the first ball, better than Keys, I would have said. So I trust Sabalenka to win this in straights, more so than her previous matches, I would say.
You know, in the chat, they're talking about how Siegemund's her drop shots have been really, really strong this tournament. I obviously agree with that. What do we think of Sabalenka's north-south movement? Because I think if we're looking at her game, at this point, she's become a complete player, but that's certainly not one of the things that I view as a strength for her. And so I could see it making it tricky. I could see her going to a tiebreaker and becoming 17-1 in tiebreaks.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. If it's an off day, then Siegemund's not the player you want to be playing. Like, I don't think Sabalenka's transition game is great. Her net game's not great. It was a really tight point, actually. 5-3 comes to mind in the tie-break against Mertens, and she did really good to bounce back from what is maybe an easy professional volley. However, I still just think, when is she going to get the opportunity to drop shot? Even against Keys, it was a lot of slicing. You know, the power off of Keys' balls are quite tricky. It's not balls that really brought her ages, like really, really far forwards, or really cut her out with double bounces, I would have said. It's just low balls. So I do think Sabalenka can prevent Siegemund from disrupting as easily, maybe, as she has against other players.
We're talking about Sabalenka's volleys. It's easy to forget she's a 2-time doubles slam champion. At least one of them with Elisa Mertens.
Much like Andrei Rublev, it's not really their volley pedigree that has got them big titles.
But, you know, Mertens obviously a very good doubles player.
Fantastic.
I mean, going back to this match, I am much more optimistic that Sabalenka's going to win this relatively easily. And I tell you why. Yes, Siegemund did a very good job of absorbing and stopping dead Keys' pace and drop shotting her and basically frustrating it and forcing Maddie to generate pace, and Maddie overhit. I don't think Sabalenka's going to do that, or at least she's not going to do that for very long. I think you're right, exactly what you were saying earlier, in that Sabalenka absolutely crunches that ball, and she does, and that's what she likes to do. But she's got her own deft touch at the net. She loves the drop shot. Deft touch, not the net, but like, you know, she can love the drop shot, get it in there. I think she can rein in the pace when she needs to. She's done that in every match up to this point. And I do think that she has the tools to kind of get crafty with Siegemund if she needs to. And it's not necessarily a game that we know her for, but I have full confidence that she could execute. And I don't see her being too troubled by that in the end. I think she'll figure it out quite quickly. And I think this could be, Jack has said, her most straightforward match going into the semifinals. So that's kind of how I see this, the Sabalenka-Siegemund match going.
I'd love to talk about a comment from Marcus E, who says that Aryna is not a complete player. She doesn't have a good topspin, and her first serve can improve. Because I got to tell you, I know I already said that I think she's a complete player. Could not disagree with Marcus more. Doesn't have good topspin. That doesn't mean she's not a complete player. She's got a great forehand and a great backhand, and she's got a great approach shot, and she's got like. Does she have that the topspin style as like a regular part of her arsenal? Perhaps no. But also, if there's a surface where you can get away with hitting a flat ball, there in the WT sometimes struggle with their first serve. But Sabalenka's gotten, like, and she seems to have nipped the double faults down like quite a bit from the past. And so, like, just want to re-up that I think that she's a complete player. Jack and Nick, do y'all agree, or am I taking crazy pills here?
No, absolutely not. I actually would argue she does it with quite a lot of topspin. I don't really know where that's come from. Topspin is great. Like, she doesn't do it that bad. Yeah, again, Nick?
It's deceptive because, like, you're right. I mean, someone rightfully corrected me on this once before. I remember that, and I was like looking back, like, oh yeah, she does hit with like great topspin, gets underneath the ball. Like, how else does it kind of land in the court in the way it does? Are you comparing it, if it's like compared to someone like an Iga Swiatek who hits with a crazy amount of spin? But that's not what you should be comparing to. I think
that's why Iga's never done well here, because of her topspin, right? Like,
yeah.
I still think, like, you watch somebody like Sabalenka playing forehands cross to players, and she ends up hitting the ball past them with a cross ball. It's like insane, like, angles she can generate. The difference between Sabalenka and a lot of other players that maybe create the same amount of topspin is how accurate she can play with a big ball. Like, just accuracy. Like, she flirts with the lines all the time, where other players maybe don't play with quite as little margin, because it's insanely hard to do. It's like,
she can get away with it. That's why she makes a lot more than someone like Elena Rybakina, who is pretty flat in the hitting, in the ball that she produces. So yeah, sorry, all three of us believe that Aryna Sabalenka hits with a lot of topspin, and also has a big advantage in this match for another reason, which is the 2-0 head-to-head against Laura Siegemund. Not sure how long ago those matches were, but again, another reason to be relatively confident of an Aryna Sabalenka victory. We're having a look at this now. So I think we're just about ready to move on. Okay, yeah, it's been like 6 years since they played and never on grass. But both matches,
the trifecta. This will be the three surfaces checked, box checked, that she gets the win today. Or sorry, when they play, excuse me.
Yeah, Tuesday.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
Oh, low net clearance there from Khachanov. Forehand winner from Karen Khachanov. 15-love. Welcome to fans of Lauda Siegemund and Aryna Sabalenka. That match will be getting underway very, very shortly on centre court. Fritz here, 3 points away from sealing the first set. He's done the tee with that serve, which on the turn, 30-15. Do hit that like button, of course, and if you are new to the channel, please do hit subscribe. First serve there clips the net from Karen and then goes wide. As soon as Siegemund and Sabalenka get underway, I'll be keeping you up to date with all of that action as well. Khachanov here with 2 game points to make Fritz serve it out. Double fault from Karen Khachanov. 40-30. Good serve down the tee, but Taylor Fritz bats it back. Now it's on the backhand side of Taylor. Lovely volley there though from Karen Khachanov. And Taylor Fritz indeed will have to serve this out. So 5-3 Taylor Fritz, 29 minutes on the clock. Siegemund, excuse me, and Sabalenka just warming up. Backhand cross court there from Taylor. This is an interesting rally, but Taylor looks like he's on top until he dumps his forehand into the net. Sabalenka, by the way, and Siegemund are just getting underway. Sabalenka will serve first, and she has, in fact, won the first point. Once this game from Taylor is concluded, either in favor of Khachanov or Fritz, I will hone in on that match. 15-all, by the way, an unreturned serve. Love, by the way, Sabalenka. She's obviously the hot favourite in that quarterfinal. Siegemund in just her second Grand Slam quarterfinal. And the last one was in Paris quite some time ago. Was it Zidansek maybe she lost to? In singles it was. I'm just trying to think which year it was. Oh no, Kvitova. She lost to Kvitova. 2017, I think. Oh no, 2020. That was the COVID one when it was in winter. Anyway, 2 set points here for Taylor Fritz. Serve and volley, puts it away, wins the first set by 6 games to 3. Just over half an hour done. Pretty rudimentary from that first moment he broke. So let's switch to Siegemund and Sabalenka, which in terms of matchups, I think whether it's a dominant performance from Sabalenka or not, I was going to say from one player or the other, I do think it's going to be an interesting watch. And Sabalenka is at deuce on her serve. She was at 40-15. Where are you going with this serve, Saba? You're going out wide, and Siegemund gets her racket, although I think it came off the handle of her racket. So it's advantage Sabalenka. Do let me know in the live chat who you think is winning. I guess most of you will be voting for Sabalenka. Coffee time for me. Good depth there from Lauda. Lovely change of direction, drop shot. Lovely disguise there, Lauda. Siegemund, take a bow. Juice. Taylor Fritz sealing the first set is the bit of breaking news we have so far. Lovely return there from Lauda Siegemund, and she has a break point. Lauda Siegemund yet to drop a set at Wimbledon. Let's go, says Sabalenka in her non-native language. Unreturned serve. You'd imagine the serve return dynamic will go the way of Aryna, but body serve there. It's dealt with pretty well by Siegemund, but oh my goodness me, Lauda Siegemund. What a passing shot. I'm not sure if he's her coach as well, but the guy with the big beard is her partner, an Italian guy. I think they speak Italian together, actually. She's multilingual, is Lauda. Down the tee goes long, so it's a second break point here for Lauda Siegemund, and she's going to have a second serve to look at. Lauda Siegemund. Oh my goodness, what a return from Lauda Siegemund. And she breaks. One love. That's clearly a tactic today for Lauda. Basically, go for it on the turn. So, breaking news. Taylor Fritz leads by a set to love. And Lauda Siegemund has broken early. Lauda has a couple of siblings, by the way, and when she was aged 3, she moved to Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. Then from the age of 4, she lived in Jakarta between the ages of 4 and 7. She also lived in Indonesia as a child as well. And she has a bachelor's degree in psychology. Her tennis idol was Steffi Graf. Mind you, it says here she's fluent in English and French, and definitely in English, and maybe in French too, but it doesn't mention the Italian that I know she can speak. She went into this tournament, by the way, I think ranked around about 107 in the world. Has she come through qualifying, therefore? Or did she make the main draw? No, I think she started in the main draw. She must have just squeezed in, though. Of course, she's pretty good in the doubles, where she's got an incredible record. 104 in the world going into this tournament. She must have just scraped in because it's around about 100 in the world. Normally the cutoff. Meanwhile, Taylor Fritz has a break point on Fritz-Khachanov at the beginning of the second set. Ooh, drop shot fail there from Siegemund, 15-30. Khachanov saves that break point. Good return there from Aryna Sabalenka, but she's going to go long on that forehand, so it's 30 all. Fritz-Khachanov has a game point over on court number 1. Nice return there from Aryna after a pretty good serve, actually, from Sabalenka, from Siegemund. And she's going to have a break point here for 1-all. Is normality going to resume here on centre court? 103 places between these two players. Backhand return from Sabalenka into the forehand of Siegemund. Backhand from Sabalenka goes into the net. She saw an opening down the line there. It was the right choice, but it wasn't well executed. Deuce it is. Body serve there from Siegemund, and it's not going to be returned. The game point for the German. Her second Grand Slam quarterfinal. At the grand old age of 37. Antonio Zucca. Yeah, I think that's her partner and coach. Partner first, coach second. Down the tee, and it's held 2-love. Sabalenka maybe would feel that she could have done slightly better on that return.
Siegemund leads by 2 games to love, first set.
Ooh, cat and mouse point here. Siegemund comes into the net, puts the volley away. Miss-hit forehand from Sabalenka, and it's love 30. Backhand return here from Siegemund. Forehand there from Sabalenka. Well defended by Siegemund. Now Siegemund on the attack. Oh my goodness me, what a forehand winner from Laura Siegemund. Two break points for the German and a 3. What a return. She breaks for 3 love. What a start here for Laura Siegemund. What a start on center court. Wild. Siegemund, 37 years old, leading 3 games to love. Meanwhile, Taylor Fritz is 1 set to love up on Khachanov, and they are on serve in the early stages. He did have a break point a moment ago. Cat and mouse point there, and normally that means Siegemund wins it, but it doesn't on this occasion. Sabalenka love 15. Backhand return into the backhand of Siegemund. Good return there from Sabalenka, forcing the error. Love 30. Khachanov serving here, 1 game all, 30-15. Another cat and mouse point, but it's another point that Sabalenka ends up winning. So it's love 40 now on the Siegemund serve. The double break advantage looking pretty vulnerable. A couple of drop shots in there, and the second one from Sabalenka. Siegemund was not able to chase down. As Sabalenka is 3-love down here. It's a double break. She tries to get on the board. First serve from Lauda goes into the net. Has the realization that she's a double breakup on the world #1 on center court just hit her. Quite possibly, as Sabalenka breaks, gets one of those breaks back after 19 minutes. It's 3-1. Meanwhile, over on court #1, Karen Khachanov has a game point for 2-1. It's the 29th Grand Slam appearance for Lauda Siegemund and 6th at Wimbledon. This is the second time she's made her major quarterfinals. I think she's made the 3rd round in the US Open and in Australia as well. I saw her in grass at Wimbledon. Sorry, I saw her in grass in Berlin a couple of years ago. And I thought to myself then that grass was never going to be a thing for her. And yet here we are, a Wimbledon quarterfinal. Khachanov holds for 2-1, so it's over to Taylor Fritz. Sabalenka hit love 15. More coffee en route, that's good. Backhand here from Siegemund into the backhand of Sabalenka. Nice change of direction there from Lauda Siegemund. And the fun just keeps on rolling. Love 30 here on the Sabalenka serve. This is a match that keeps on giving. Yeah, having seen Lauda on the grass in Berlin a couple of years ago, I thought, well, 35 years old, I think your chances of a deep run at Wimbledon are long since over. And yet here we are, 37 years old. Anyway, Sabalenka wins the next point to the applause of her team, 15-30. Sabalenka, though, puts that smash away for 30-all. You feel as though this game is quite important. If Lauda was to regain that double break advantage, you'd think she'd have enough in the pocket to get over the line and win the first set. But Sabalenka breaks, and I don't feel super confident in the Siegemund serve. It would feel like there's some momentum building with Aryna. But the return from Siegemund must have gone just centimeters long, maybe even less. Apparently the grass at Wimbledon is 8 millimeters long. I wonder if that went out by about 8 millimeters as well. Double fault from Aryna Sabalenka, so we're at deuce. Nice forehand winner there from Sabalenka. +1. Is Aryna going to change her racket? No, she's just walking back to the baseline. Forehand block return from Lauda. Forehand from Sabalenka. Sabalenka comes into the net, puts the volley away. Lovely technique there from Aryna. Meanwhile, Fritz and Khachanov are locked at 2-2 in the second. Deuce here. Taylor Fritz, by the way, and Karen Khachanov still at 2-2 with Khachanov serving 30 love. Lovely change of mind there from Sabalenka at the net. And she has a game point, 6.5 minutes on the clock for this one. I did say the magnitude of this game feels pretty big. Khachanov holds for 3-2, and Sabalenka also holds in what I suggested was a pretty big game. We're going to take a quick break, by the way. Hey, thanks for taking the time to, well, you haven't got any choice, actually. I'm just talking at you, if you like. But I'm here also to present to you why I think it's not a bad idea and not that expensive as well if you become a member. And this is how you can do it, and this is what you can gain. So if we look here at the Talking Tennis sort of home page, if you like, on YouTube, we can see this little button here which says join. It is also pinned in the live chat as well, and you can also, I think, see it just below most of our videos, certainly the live ones and so on. Now, why is it a good idea to join and become a member? Well, in the live chat, you can add little funny things, you can add emojis and all sorts of things, but possibly more importantly, you can get to access some live videos, such as this one here, where we look back on the last sort of few moments from the Billie Jean King Cup. So there are little bonuses such as this one, but there are many, many more. And in fact, if we have a quick look at all of the members only stuff, I repeat, you will see very, very quickly some of the top stuff that we've had for members only over the last 12 months since the channel began. Remember, these videos are for members only. You can become a member from as little as about $2 a month, €2 a month, £2 a month, something like that. There are various different things. Oh, and by the way, you'll also be supporting the channel. So it's a win-win-win-win scenario. Let me just show you some of the members only stuff. For example, we've got an exclusive little clip there talking to Laura Siegemund, Laura Tsurenko, her encore interview, some doubles footage there from Monastir, the Germany press conference pre-tournament Billie Jean King Cup, Claire Burrell talking as well to the media in her press conference in Monastir, Storm Hunter and Alicia Parks interview, Rebecca Masarova, her press conference, Coco Gauff exclusive for members only, albeit it was in Madrid, but these are just some of the things, some of the interviews and etc. Like Lestien here, a chat with him, Emma Navarro, and so on and so forth. So many little bonus videos available for just €2 a month. So, what are you waiting for? Become a member. Or don't. It's okay. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Brenna, by the way, is in Newport this week. Should be bringing you some content for Talking Tennis. $30-all here on centre court. I did say that last game, unreturned serve. I did feel as though that last hold for Sabalenka was huge in terms of the destination of this first set. Got some people in the live chat as well. Okay, more spam. $40-30 here. Goes down the tee. It's going to be another first serve, I think, because that must have clipped the net. Game point here for Laura Siegemund and 4-2. Do not adjust your sets. It is 4-2 Laura Siegemund, or is 3-2 with a break Laura Siegemund. Deuce. Siegemund here with another game point. Drop shot there from Lauda is going to be too good. I think it is. 4-2, Lauda Siegemund. And it's love 15 on the Sabalenka serve. Fritz-Khachanov remain on serve, by the way. Ooh, double fault, Sabalenka, love 30. Oh, Lauda had the option of the lob there. And I think she'll regret not taking it. Was a tricky lob, especially with Aryna and her height. But the passing shot had nowhere near enough pace on it and was probably the wrong direction. She probably had 3 options and she chose the worst because she could have gone cross court where there was a bit more of a gap. Look at that Aryna coming into the net, by the way, 17 times already. That is, I think, in large part to her opponent. But it could also be a slight change of tactic from her compared to where she was at a couple of years ago. Lovely forehand cross-court winner there, 30-15. Steadying the ship. Oh, nice passing shot there from Siegemund. Laura Siegemund here. Backhand cross court misses, I think, by a pretty fine margin. Oh, nice return there from Laura. Laura all over the show, all over the court. Laura Siegemund. I cannot believe what I'm watching. And Laura Siegemund has broken for 5-2. Wow, she's going to serve for the first set over the world number 1. Oh, maybe Sabalenka in terms of the French Open and Wimbledon is just, what's the word? Cursed. What's his Tom? Okay, Taylor Fritz has broken, by the way, and is going to serve for the second set. Siegemund is serving for the first set here against Aryna Sabalenka. Second serve. Siegemund, how's your nerve? Obviously, it's going to get much more tense as you get nearer the finish line, assuming you get close to the finish line, but still a one-set advantage. Look at Sabalenka, they're ready to pound. Double fault, Aryna Sabalenka. Sorry, double fault, Laura Siegemund. So love 15, just asking how your nerve was. It's a slight clue. Forehand return from Sabalenka. Good depth there. Forcing the error. Love 30. You know, sometimes Sabalenka angry is not necessarily a bad thing. Not necessarily thinking, look at this from Laura. This is just, to me, suggesting a bit of anxiety, the way she's just a little stressed with the ball kids there. Clips the net. Do check out our interview with Laura, by the way. It's a couple of years ago in Madrid, but I think it's still a fun interview to see or to watch. Get your English right. You watch TV and moving images and interviews, for example, but you see a mountain. There you go, little English class for you. Oh dear, she can't get this first serve in right now. Love 30. I think she's a bit tight here. A bit tight is the German. Oh, double fault. She's tight. She is tight, tight, tight. Love 40. Oh my goodness me. And Aryna Sabalenka will know. She will know right now. She knows that her opponent is nervous. Don't double fault. No, you don't. But that return is pretty good. Although forehand goes long there to the relief of Lauda. But there's 2 more break points to save. By the way, has Taylor Fritz got over the line in the second set? Yes, he has. He leads Khachanov by 2 sets to love. Ooh, good forehand there from Sabalenka. It just feels as though this... Oh, nice one, Lauda. 30-15. Ooh. $30 all. Two points away from sealing this set. Oh, good serve there from Aryna into the body. Meanwhile, 6-3, 6-4 on serve at the beginning of the third set. But all the drama right now is happening here on center court. 40-30. Oh, backhand return goes into the net, and Siegemund's going to have to serve it out again. So, $15. Nice one, Lauda, 30 love. Some emotion from the crowd there. Well, how's Taylor Fritz getting on? Oh, he's down a break in the third. Oh, that was a nervy serve there from Lauda. Oh, good serve there, though, from Lauda. And to be fair, there was a bit of pace on it, so it was a bit of risk on that one. And she's got 3 set points. Can she get the job done here? 3 set points. Lauda Siegemund to take a 1-set-to-love lead. It's 2 set points still to go. And the second serve required here. Oh, she's got it done. It's a gift from Aryna Sabalenka. 6-4. She wins that first set. I call it a gift from Sabalenka because she puts the return into the net. 1 hour for that set. Well. Sabalenka's going to go off court for a quick break. Meanwhile, let's have a quick look at Taylor Fritz and Fritz-Khachanov. Do we have the order of play yet for tomorrow? Khachanov leading 3-love, by the way, in the third set. For those of you just tuning in, do not adjust your sets. Lauda Siegemund is up. A 1-set-to-love lead she has over Aryna Sabalenka. A fascinating first set, mentally and physically, and in terms of the nature of the play. It looks like we may have an order of play for tomorrow. And it seems to be... Okay, both men's quarterfinals are following the women's quarterfinals. Okay, that's an interesting choice. So first up on centre court is Mira Andreeva and Belinda Bencic. Just before that on number 1 court, is Swiatek Samsonova. Okay, so Taylor Fritz, Khachanov, 4-love Khachanov leads in this set, racing away with this third set. Didn't see this coming. Hope Taylor's okay physically. Meanwhile, Sabalenka and Siegemund have yet to resume the second set, or yet to begin the second set, I should say. Sabalenka taking a toilet break at the end of that first set. I think she's okay physically. She just wanted to have a break. Break being the operative word. There were breaks galore. I think Lauda was broken once, was she? Maybe twice even. Aryna was broken 3 times. Fritz here losing a little bit of control. I don't mean too much mentally. I just mean in terms of ball control there with putting that forehand into the net, 30-15. I will return to centre court shortly once Sabalenka and Siegemund resume action. But we will get towards the end of this third set here between Taylor and Karen. And Khachanov holds for 5-love. Is Taylor going to get bageled? What do we think about these pictures, by the way? I mean, Taylor looks about 12 in his picture. Pretty quick match, I would suggest, to have the best part of 3 sets done in, what is that, an hour and a half, pretty much. Hola, Miguel. ¿Cómo estás? Tuning in from Paraguay. Miguel, please do hit the like button. And if you haven't already done so, hit subscribe. Karen Khachanov is 1 game away from bageling Taylor Fritz in this third set. Not sure if Taylor's had a physical dip or just his level has dropped, or maybe Karen has upped his. People were purring over Karen's backhand in the previous round, by the way. Sabalenka and Siegemund are back underway on centre court, and Sabalenka is serving at 30 all. So what a dramatic opening we've had to that quarterfinal. Dramatic just because of the nature of the fact that Lauda is distinct underdog. Fritz here falling apart. That forehand mishit, love 15. It's almost as if he has a resigned feel about this set. Sabalenka, by the way, does hold, though, from 30 all. This match, by the way, between Sabalenka and Siegemund could be one of those that we see Iga have, for example. I see Iga more than anyone else, where they shockingly drop the first set and then run out 1 and 2 in the next 2. I'm not saying that's definitely going to happen, but I think Sabalenka just needs to up her level a little bit. Just a little bit, particularly on the turn. Slice here from Khachanov. Backhand cross court from Taylor Fritz. Another slice there from Taylor. A nice slice down the line from Karen Khachanov. 15 all still here, and this is a pretty lengthy rally. We're heading towards the 20 shot mark now for this rally. And I think that hit the line from Fritz. And as a result, Khachanov couldn't deal with it. Mishitting the forehand. 30-15 Taylor Fritz as he seeks to get on the board. Clips the net there on the first serve, but it lands in. $18,386 subscribers, so 600 away from 19,000. If you are watching now and you haven't already subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. 30 all. Taylor Fritz here serving. The first serve goes into the net. Are we going to get a game point for Taylor to finally get on the mark in this set, or a set point and a bagel potentially for Karen Khachanov? We're going to get a game point because Khachanov couldn't deal with that serve into the body. 40-30. Game point Taylor Fritz. Backhand cross court into the backhand of Karen Khachanov. Backhand to backhand right now. Khachanov changing directions. Defended nicely with a squash shot there from Fritz, but he can't deal with that backhand down the line. Deuce. Meanwhile, Laura Siegemund, 15-30 on her serve at the beginning of the second set. Having won the first set, the German. Forehand mishit slightly there from Khachanov. Mishit at least in terms of the fact it went wide. Game point for Taylor Fritz once more. 2 break points for Sabalenka as she tries to get a foothold in this match. She was behind on the scoreboard throughout in that first set. The closest it got when it got to 3-2. Sabalenka had a tough hold there as well to make it 3-2. Nice serve down the tee from Fritz, is that? Or is it no? I think it clipped the net. So a game point here for Taylor. Good serve there from Taylor on the second serve. Forehand into the forehand of Karen. Now it's on the forehand of Taylor, but that's a terrible drop shot from Taylor Fritz. And it's going to be deuce. Sabalenka, 2 break points. Is she going to get this foothold that I suggested that she might? And she does, and leads 2-love. Is this an ominous momentum change in this match? Sabalenka leads by a break of serve at the beginning of the second set. Fritz, once again, after a forehand winner. Has a game point. Khachanov did not read that serve at all. Taylor Fritz holds. And so it's 5-1. One hour, 41 minutes for this particular encounter. Sabalenka and Siegemund, by the way, about 1 hour, 15 minutes. Tasty, love 30. Meanwhile, Karen Khachanov serving for the set. Over on court number 1, 5-1 he leads, and 15 love. Ooh, that smash was close to the line, but I think it hit the line. So it's 40 love. Khachanov, and he has 3 set points. Meanwhile, Sabalenka, 15-30. She won the next point. Khachanov, 3 set points. Where are you going with this serve? You're going to go in the net. Meanwhile, drop shot from Lauda Siegemund is going to do the trick. 15-40, 2 break points for the German to get it back on serve. Maybe Sabalenka needs to take a step closer to the baseline during these rallies, or even just remain inside it. Well, she was inside it there, but she just wasn't ready. Down the tee serve. Good serve there from Aryna. Not much Siegemund could do about that. 30-40. That early break of serve is not shaking her belief just yet. Khachanov wins the third set, 6-1, unreturned serve. So 2 sets to 1 there on court number 1. Backhand return here from Siegemund. Good depth there from Siegemund. No, has it gone long? I think it has. Deuce. 2 break points held. Just long. Look at that. Taylor Fritz here getting some attention to his right ankle, maybe. Does look like he's wearing some strapping as well under that sock. Or he's wearing 2 pairs of socks. So it's going to get some attention to that right foot. Khachanov is going for a break. We're going to have another break point for Lauda Siegemund. And Sabalenka's going to miss the backhand there. Having got it back to deuce. It's now going to be a 3rd break point in this game for Lauda Siegemund. And Siegemund breaks. Siegemund breaks back after a forehand miss from Sabalenka. Job done. 2-1, back on serve. Any interesting stats? Taylor Fritz first serves in that set, 38%. And having dominated the match so much so far, didn't manage to gain a single break point on the Khachanov serve. Let's just hope that Taylor's okay physically, and that's not the reason for the change in momentum. It's just Khachanov stepping up. So, Sabalenka and Siegemund return to the court. Average game time is 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Taylor Fritz getting his right foot taped up. Siegemund to serve here, 1-2. Hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. I've just switched my microphones over. I mean, Fritz is smiling, so that's a good sign, Jane, in terms of this right foot taping that he just received. What happened? I actually switched over to Sabalenka Siegemund. That's where there was a bit more drama going on. But also, no doubt about it, that Fritz's level dropped 38% first serves in for that previous set. That is not a good sign. Now, that's not necessarily down to the right foot injury. We'll see. Let's have a look at his movement as this fourth set gets underway. I have to say, like you, Jane, I felt after seeing the first two sets that we were set for a straight sets win for Taylor, and a fairly comfortable one at that. And yet here we are, tennis, eh? Siegemund takes a tumble near the net. Hopefully she's okay. As she holds for 2-all. So that momentum shift for Sabalenka was pretty short-lived. Yeah, so I do think there obviously is a right foot issue for Taylor, but I don't think that was the primary factor behind him losing that set. And I think he's okay to continue. Sabalenka, they're going close to the line. Nice forehand cross court there from Aryna, and it's 15-love. What's going on here on center court? Bit of a break in play at 15-love for Taylor.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will replay the last point due to a malfunction. The system is now working.
Oh my goodness me. Wimbledon, hang your heads in shame. They just cannot get anything right in terms of this electronic line calling due to a malfunction. Well, was it a malfunction or was it, again, human error malfunction?
15-13.
Khachanov has 2 break points here on Taylor Fritz. Does feel as though Fritz's mind has gone walkabout. Nice cross-court winner there from Siegemund, 40-30 on the Sabalenka serve.
First game, 4 sets.
Khachanov breaks for 1-love in the 4th set. Wow. That's 7 games from the last 8 for Karen Khachanov. Meanwhile, Siegemund here is pressuring the Sabalenka serve, getting to deuce. Sabalenka's reaction there, winning that point, but she's annoyed. Advantage Sabalenka. Fritzy boy.
30-9.
All game Sabalenka after Siegemund nets on the backhand side. 3-2, Aryna leads. Lol, Siegemund gonna win Wimbledon. That would be a real troll. Nice to see you, Ghosty. Body serve here from Khachanov. And he's held for 2-love. So, are we going 5 on court number 1? It looked like anything but that after the first 2 sets. 1 hour 54 minutes, by the way. Pretty speedy 3 and a bit sets. So to bring you up to speed, Taylor Fritz leads Karen Khachanov by 2-1, but the momentum is with the Russian right now, as he leads 2-love in the 4th, on course for a 5th set. On center court, we have Lauda Siegemund up 1-love, and they are on serve in the 2nd. We've had an exchange of breaks at the beginning of this 2nd set. Looked like Sabalenka was starting to wrest control, winning the first 2 games, but Siegemund has grabbed it back, and they're on serve. So Lauda here to serve at 2-3. So we'll just leave Fritz and Khachanov for a moment and see how Lauda gets on with her serve here at 2-3. Siegemund did get tight towards the end of that first set when she tried to serve it out for the first time. She had a double break advantage and she needed it, as it turned out. But then she served it out pretty well. Second serve return here from Sabalenka. And she's going to miss that forehand by some distance. The Sabalenka Wimbledon stroke French Open curse is certainly alive and well right now. Ace from Taylor Fritz as he wins his first game of the fourth set. Thirty love louder Siegemund. Two-one now to Khachanov in the fourth set. It's with a break, of course, as they change ends. Siegemund here, 40 love up, 3 game points for 3-all. Of course, the nearer we get to the end of this, the more nervy it will get for Aryna. She is serving first, which is a mini advantage for her. But still, when you're serving first, even at 3-all and 4-all, and you're being pressured to hold serve, you know, you suddenly go a break point down and you're on the precipice. Double fault there for Lauda Siegemund, 40-15. Even Fritz versus Khachanov on German TV keeps showing Sabalenka Siegemund. They know where the drama's at. Ooh, a drop shot there from Siegemund. Didn't quite work. It was probably the right, in fact, no, it wasn't probably. It was definitely the right play. Just thought that was going to go over the net, but in the end it clipped the tape and came back. Fritz is the first American to reach back-to-back quarterfinals at Wimbledon since Sam Querrey in 2016, 2017. By the way, I mentioned how Fritz got to the quarters in 2022, but of course he was at the same stage last year before losing to Lorenzo Musetti in 5 sets. I think it was on the same day that England played the Netherlands in the Euro semi-final. Nice backhand down the line winner there from Taylor as he tries to make a mark in this fourth set. Showing some signs of life. Anyway, Siegemund still has one more game point in the bag for 3-all. Second serve, though. At 40 love, I start to talk up the fact that Sabalenka will be at 3-all. Forehand return from Aryna's good. Forehand from Aryna's good. Somehow Siegemund gets it over the net, but Siegemund probably should have done better there. As they were both facing down at the net, Siegemund had a backhand passing opportunity. Perhaps a little low on energy, though, having been drained by some of the previous shots. That backhand pass, which normally would be quite easy, she just took a minor stumble as well, losing her footing slightly, which I think also suggests a little bit of running out of gas, just in terms of that point, not in terms of the match, but she was just drained from some of those forehands from Sabalenka. Sabalenka's net percentage, by the way, has dropped slightly as the match has worn on. So, deuce. First serve goes into the net. Do hit that like button. Oh, absolutely, Jane. Absolutely. Jane and Ghosty watching separate streams. I do hope that's not an indication of a Tsitsipas, Badosa style separation. Great points for Taylor Fritz, by the way, in the fourth set to get it back on serve. Great point, Aryna Sabalenka. Good forehand there from Khachanov. saving this first of 2 break points. By the way, break points, very much the operative phrase on centre court. Siegemund here, 2-3, facing a break point. Not that breaks of serve have been super difficult to come by today. Second serve here for Siegemund. Just wonder if she was starting to think about a place in the semi-finals. I mean, still some work to do, but when you break back like she did, and you're at 2-all, I think Sabalenka's hitting that ball with a bit of confidence right now. Siegemund maybe slightly less so. Good change of direction there from Sabalenka. I think you, me, and everyone, the cat and the dog, all thought Sabalenka was going to go big down the line, but she didn't. Went cross-court, catching Lauda out slightly. And Lauda couldn't deal with it. 4-2. Sabalenka now, break up in the second. Fritz breaks back, by the way, for 2-all. He's looking fine right now, despite that foot injury that we saw towards the end, or at the end of the third set. Is it new balls? It is, I think. New balls here. This is the 5th time in Lauda Siegemund's career that she's come up against a world number 1. She's lost all of the previous 4. That chopped return from Siegemund, which has on occasions worked, didn't work there. Okay. 30-all here on the Sabalenka serve. Backhand return from Lauda. Backhand from Sabalenka. Backhand from Lauda. Forehand Sabalenka. Forehand dropped and dropped. Way too deep and way too easy for Sabalenka to deal with 40-30. Sabalenka could benefit from more slice, I think, give her opponents different balls to look at. Thank you, Coach Ghosty. I'm sure Aryna will be employing you very soon. Bugoy here, by the way, is pretty sure that Sabalenka is going to lose this match. I'm less convinced, even if she is Obviously coming from behind right now. Mind you, it's deuce here on the Sabalenka serve, 4-2 deuce. Let's go, Laura, let's go. They're obviously not German saying that, or they would say louder. But nice to see she's getting some British support, probably supporting the underdog. Fritz has arrested the slide, it would appear, over on court number 1. Oh, nice, Lauda, nice. Little lob there. She chased down that ball and then dinked it over the top of Sabalenka's head. She tries a reverse backhand smash, but she puts that into the net. And we've got a break point for Lauda Siegemund as she just tries to control her breathing here on center court. Siegemund yet to drop a set. And we're midway through a quarterfinal at Wimbledon. Nice return there from Lauda. We're into the rally right now. Backhand from Sabalenka goes down the line. Drop shot from is this going to be too good? We're going to smash here for Sabalenka, and she's got it. That was a difficult smash, particularly under the pressure. These cat and mouse points are so much fun. This Sabalenka Siegemund quarterfinal is delivering. Deuce. On the turn serve, game point, Aryna Sabalenka. Sabalenka can't afford me. Oh, good to see Jane and Ghosty. Are you communicating? Sorry, I'm just catching up with some of these comments. Sabalenka holds for 5-2, so there's a chance for me to even more so catch up on some of these comments right now. Let me have a look, see what's going on. It's interesting that Ghosty has chosen to switch over to the Fritz-Khachanov chat. So maybe Ghosty is, trying to hand out an olive branch. I wonder if German casual fans see the name Fritz on their phones and get pissed when they actually turn on the TV. That's good, Ghosty. You're on fire today. Ich verstehe nur Bahnhof. Wo ist das, California boy? Or who is das, California? Oh, okay, who is das? Yeah, wer ist das? Luca Litofon, who said a couple of times in the chat that he is streaming Fritz versus Khachanov. No, he did say streaming. Jane says you can count on me to count the... Yeah, I know, but the ATP matches are sometimes a bit of a dull affair. I guess this one did sort of have some intrigue when Khachanov wins that third set. But, yeah. Sabalenka can't afford me, says Ghosty. It does look like she's about to drop her first set of the tournament, but we'll see. 5-2, she trails in this second set. Fritz, by the way, has 40-love lead for a 4-3 advantage. Love 15 here on the Siegemund serve. $15 all here on the Siegemund serve. Meanwhile, Khachanov serving at 3-4 on court number 1. Second serve here for Sabalenka at 15 all. 2-5 Siegemund serving. Lovely drop shot there, volley there from Khachanov. Might even been a half volley actually for 15 love. Drop shot Siegemund. Not bad. Redrop from Sabalenka. Lob from Siegemund. Backhand lob from Sabalenka. Smash volley there sort of thing. But wow, what a point. And that is why this match is the golden ticket today. 15-30. These points between these two, it's just another level. If I seemed a bit lackluster for the first half an hour of this stream today, well, it changed the minute Laura Siegemund and Aryna Sabalenka unfurled their rackets like swords in the night, ready to go at each other toe to toe. 15-30, Siegemund serving here. So just seeing Jane, your pick, your message, Si. Backhand return from Sabalenka goes long. Khachanov 40 love for 4 all. There was a stat earlier on, and we're probably still at a similar moment. 4 minutes and 15 seconds per game is the average for Sabalenka Siegemund. Or as we call it, 5 Ben Sheltons. Who was it he had to play? Who was it Shelton beat in 55 seconds the other day? When they resumed? Hijikata. So 30 all here. Sabalenka 2 points away from sealing the set. Khachanov holds for 4 all. Game point, Laura Siegemund. Applause from the crowd. deuce. So once again, Sabalenka is 2 points away from sealing this set. Forehand return here for Aryna. Drop shot. Siegemund is too good. It annoys Sabalenka as well every time it happens. I mean, I think if it happens, the thing is, a lot of the time it's happening on the first moment. So, you know, Sabalenka's position on the court really can't be criticized because if you're serving, you're going to be near the baseline, right? Probably on the baseline. If you're returning, you're going to be where you are because you've got to focus on where you be for the return. Of course, as the rally develops, she can inch closer to the baseline or even inside it if necessary. But anyway, game point here, Lauda Siegemund. Backhand there from Sabalenka. Forehand Sabalenka, winner down the line, and we're back to deuce. Fritz, by the way, holds for 5-4, so he's one game away, albeit on the Khachanov serve, from replacing the Wimbledon semi-finals for the first time in his career. Third quarterfinal, this, of course, for Taylor. First American player to do back-to-back quarterfinals since Sam Querrey, 2016-2017. Drop shot fail from Lauda Siegemund, and we have a set point for Aryna Sabalenka. So, set point. Siegemund. Chop return from Aryna is going to go long. Deuce. Hands on hip Aryna there. We're very close to the end of this second set on center court between the world number 1 and the world number 104. We are very close to the end of the fourth set and perhaps the match between Taylor Fritz, the world number 5, and Karen Khachanov, the world number 20, I believe. So, Siegemund Sabalenka, deuce. I am reading all of these comments, Ghosty and Jane. I'm just not reading them all out. And Sabalenka seals the second set by 6-2. Just changing rooms if you're wondering what's going on. So, third set, Sabalenka, Siegemund incoming. Fritz, by the way, love 30 on the Khachanov serve. But he puts that forehand into the net. $15.30. 30 all now. Still, Fritz 2 points away. Game point, Fritz-Khachanov. Siegemund and Sabalenka at 1 set all. Siegemund goes off for a break, but Sabalenka asks, how long is it? 5 minutes, as she confirms. She knows that Siegemund is a wily character. Let's rock and roll, Aryna, says Marcus. Hi there, MZR. MZR, can you please hit the like button and subscribe if you are new? Khachanov holds for 5 all, by the way. And Fritz here, 40 love up on his serve. Thank you, MZR, for subscribing. Fritz holds for 6-5. Khachanov once again will be under that pressure cooker scenario of serving to stay in the match. He got to love 30 as well, but then he won the next 4 points to make it 5 all. Well, he's going to have to hold serve again if he's going to force a tiebreak. Five minutes and 5 seconds since the last point between Sabalenka and Siegemund. Sabalenka wants to get on with things. Well, you probably need a different quarterfinal opponent for that. Next matchup on court number 1 will be Anisimova against Pavlyuchenkova. Siegemund is still not back on court. Sabalenka knows what's going on. She knows the game. She was wary of it from the minute Siegemund walked off court. I'm just trying to hear what she's saying. She knows it. Soon as she went off court, she's like, she's got 5 minutes, all right? Sabalenka here practicing serves. Probably just trying to stay cool in a way as well. Oh, staying cool, very important for Kevin as he serves to stay in the match. 15 love. $15 love becomes 15 all. A little bit of fortune there for Taylor. Is that one singular point for Taylor Fritz going to be huge in terms of this match? If Khachanov holds, then no big deal. But how is your nerve, Karen Khachanov, right now? Ooh, he's taking a bit of a risk with some of these forehands. Very un-Karen-like. Although maybe he mishit that forehand, which is why it went long. Fritz goes a little aggressive there with the backhand and misses into the tram lines. 30-15. A little shake of the head there from someone in the box of okay, finally, we're back underway on center court. Meanwhile, Taylor Fritz and Karen Khachanov, 30 all. Fritz returns. Backhand from Khachanov, close to the baseline. Nice forehand from Khachanov. Fritz running all over the court to stay in this point and can't quite do it with that slice. 40-30. In the open era, 3 German players have defeated the #1 seed in the women's singles at Wimbledon, most recently with Lisicki doing so over Serena Williams in 2013. Sabalenka is serving, beginning of the third set. Backhand return from ladder. Siegemund goes long. Okay, tie-break time between Fritz and Karen Khachanov. 2 hours, 30 minutes on the clock. 40 love Sabalenka, 3 game points. Taylor Fritz ace down the tee to start the tiebreak, 1-0. Game Sabalenka, she holds to love. Okay, let's tune into Fritz and Khachanov at this juncture. Two zero Fritz.
2-0 Fritz.
First serve into the net. Forehand return from Taylor. Forehand from Khachanov. Just goes over the net. And in the end, Khachanov has an easy volley put away. 2-1. Do hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. Three one Fritz, his second ace of this tiebreak. He's only had how many serves? 3, maybe? 2 of them have been aces. Oh, how loud a Siegemund could do with some big serves like that right now. Oh, another ace from Taylor Fritz. Fritz has won 4 points, and 3 of them have come via an ace. I think actually he's had 3 serves, and there have been 3 aces. Am I right? He's within touching distance of his first Wimbledon semi-final. 4-1 he leads. Drop shot louder Siegemund is genius. 30 love on her serve at the beginning of the third set. Backhand return from Fritz. Forehand now to forehand. Forehand is pretty big from Khachanov. Too big, as it turns out. Fritz couldn't deal with it. 4-2 at the change of ends. Khachanov will be serving 2-4 at that change of ends when they resume in a moment or so. Meanwhile, Siegemund, 40 love on her serve. You would make Sabalenka a favorite, but if Siegemund can keep on holding and keep on deceiving with these drop shots, now it's Khachanov's turn for a big serve. It's not an ace, but not much Fritz could do about it other than just scrape his racket. Still, Taylor is 3 points away. Taylor. Couldn't pick that volley up, and the mini break advantage has gone 4-all. Five for Fritz. Khachanov errs. Khachanov errs. We've got 2 match points for Taylor Fritz. The first one is going to come on the Khachanov serve. Khachanov, who's been in multiple quarterfinals at slams and semifinals, never made a Grand Slam final. 4-6, Khachanov serving. Second serve, Taylor Fritz to look at. Siegemund holds for 1-all. Forehand return from Taylor. Good depth on it. Taylor on the forehand, going a bit bigger, but into the forehand of Khachanov. Now to the backhand of Khachanov, who's struggling. It's going to be a smash at the net for Taylor Fritz, and he's through to his first ever Wimbledon semi-final. There was a scary moment at the end of the third set, beginning of the fourth, for Taylor Fritz, as he lost that third set by 6-1, and then needed some footwork, some foot issues tended to by the physio. Then Khachanov begins the fourth set with a break, as it looked like we were heading towards a fifth, but Fritz broke back. Heading into the tie break, he took an early mini break advantage, 3 serves 3 aces to begin that tie break, putting him into a commanding position. 4-2 at the change of ends. Khachanov then got that mini break advantage back and got to 4-all, but Fritz ran it out by winning the last 3 points, and he reaches his first ever Wimbledon semi-final. Khachanov once again the bridesmaid. Neither of these two players have ever won a Grand Slam. Fritz has at least been in a Grand Slam final before, last year's US Open, and now he's in his first Wimbledon semi-final at the 3rd time of asking. Khachanov once again falls short. It was a weird 3rd set that he won in a way, not in keeping with the rest of the match, which Taylor was fairly much in charge of. Khachanov waves to the crowd, taps his chest. He'll be back again next year to try again, but it does feel as though Khachanov does keep reaching a limit, isn't it? Whenever he comes up against players that, you know, he beats people that he'd expect him to beat and just falls short against those you'd expect him to fall short against. So, Fritz marches on. He will play the winner of Carlos Alcaraz and Cameron Norrie in the semi-final. He will be the underdog if it ends up being a match with Carlos Alcaraz, that is for sure. We are expecting, of course, Taylor to take the mic very shortly. Sad for Khachanov, says Ghosty. Yes, it is sad for Karen, I agree. Let's see if we can catch some words from Taylor. I remember speaking to Taylor in the quarterfinal press conference after his 5-set loss to Rafa Nadal in 2022. He was devastated after that loss, where really maybe Taylor will feel as though he should have won that match. Still an issue, I think, for Taylor in some of these big, tight matches as to whether he can hold his nerve. That wasn't quite the case today. It wasn't quite tight enough.
I'm feeling great to get through it. I feel like, I mean, the match went so well for I've never had a match that just flipped so quickly. So I'm really happy with how I kind of came back in the 4th set and you know, kind of keep momentum with it, but not to be able to try going through it.
Just tell us about that. What was going on? You said the match fled for you. From your perspective, was it something that you were doing? Was it your opponent turning things around for himself?
I mean, he definitely started playing a bit better, but I feel like I gave him a lot of hope that, you know, not the best game to start the 3rd set for me, but yeah, I've never really had the match change like that so drastically where I felt, you know, so in control, playing great, serving great. I didn't put a lot of pressure on his serve, and then out of nowhere, I just started making a ton of mistakes. And before, I felt like I couldn't miss, and then all of a sudden, I'm making a ton of mistakes. He's putting a lot of balls in play, so. Yeah, I really just had to fight to get that break back in the 4th and kind of just get the match back to like neutral.
We saw you getting some treatment to your foot. Is that okay? Does it feel all right now?
Yeah, it's totally fine. It's pretty common. A lot of players do this tape job on the feet, so the foot doesn't get irritated. But I think I just ripped it off at some point in the 2nd, so I needed to get it redone.
And you are through to your first ever semi-final at Wimbledon. How does that sound?
Yeah. It's an amazing feeling, obviously, having played the quarterfinals here twice and lost in 5 twice. I don't think I could have taken another one, so I'm really happy. I'm really happy. I'm going to get to play the semis here.
I hope you don't mind me mentioning this, but 4 years ago, you lost here at Wimbledon. You dropped out the top 40, and you wrote a note to yourself. I'm gonna sum it up because I don't think I can use all the words that you used to describe what was going on.
What I said.
But you basically said you needed to get your stuff together. How proud are you of getting your stuff together and achieving this today?
Yeah, I mean, at the time, I feel like my ranking was slipping. I was coming back from a surgery, and I felt like I was just not playing to the level where I felt like I should be playing at. And I'm a little. I never wanted that. No was never supposed to be public. It was just, I was ranting. I was ranting to my girlfriend about it. And she said, write it down, look at it. So yeah, I'm really happy with how I've really turned, I guess, my career around over the last 4 years or so. I've put in a lot of work, and it's good to see the results.
It's brilliant to see. Congratulations, the first semi-final.
Indeed. I tell you what, these on-court interviews, I do apologize. I don't know who the on-court interviewer is. Do let me know in the live chat who he is. Often on-court interviewers do get criticized, sometimes justifiably, but I tell you what, he is very, very good at it. I love the reflections on the match, and then a sort of bigger picture question there regarding Taylor and 4 years ago and that note. A great little bit of prep and nicely put, especially as he found the word stuff to replace an alternative word that Taylor perhaps used 4 years ago. So Taylor Fritz is through in 4 sets over Khachanov. Taylor there getting to his first ever Wimbledon semi-final. And of course, the previous 2 quarterfinals he lost in pretty painful fashion, losing in 5 sets to Rafa Nadal in 2022. And then last year to Lorenzo Musetti. So he goes on through. Khachanov will have to lick his wounds and come back next year and hope to do better. But that brings the Taylor Fritz versus Karen Khachanov stream to a conclusion, as it does, of course, the Wimbledon journey of Karen Khachanov, but Taylor Fritz marches on. While Laura Siegemund and Aryna Sabalenka, an interesting development here is that Siegemund is up a break in the 3rd set. Siegemund has a game point. By the way, look at Sabalenka there lamenting her scenario. As we welcome viewers who are switching across from that Fritz encounter. Taylor Fritz through to his Wimbledon semi-final. Sabalenka here fighting, deuce. Deuce here on the Siegemund serve. Backhand return from Aryna Sabalenka. Backhand Siegemund across court. Backhand Siegemund into the forehand of Aryna Sabalenka. She's going to go into the net. Game point, Laura Siegemund. Siegemund holds, by the way, 3-1. Wow, wow, wow. Three-one she leads. This is just wild, ladies and gentlemen. Sabalenka showing some frustration there as well. Hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. Siegemund coming into the net. That was an easy volley for Laura, and that would have been huge. Imagine 3-1 love 30. She should have put that one away. I do hope that she's not laying awake tonight thinking about that volley, because 3-1 love 30, and you're like, wow, wow, wow. Still 15 all here. $30-15, is it? Yes, 30-15 for Sabalenka. Please hit the like button, and if you haven't done so already, click subscribe. Sabalenka here, down a break in this deciding set, and up 40-15. There is the Siegemund coach and partner with the beard, the Italian dude. Unreturned serve, 3-2. Still a break advantage for Siegemund, but it is a slim 3-2 lead. So when they return to the court, it'll be Siegemund serving at 3-2. Do hit the like button, and if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. You can also become a member as well. And you can do just that by clicking the join button below the screen or the link pinned in the live chat. And if you become a member, you can enjoy perks, including extra bonus material, interviews, and a whole load more from as little as €2 or $2 per month. So, Siegemund here, Sabalenka. Love 15 here on the German serve. Second serve here for Sabalenka to look at. Forehand from Sabalenka into the forehand of Siegemund. Exchanging forehands right now. When is Sabalenka going to change direction? Well, that was an unusual shot from, as a drop shot here from Siegemund that's not going to work out right, but she's going to put that one away. 15 all. So 30-15 here on the Siegemund serve. Be right back, says Ghosty. See you soon. Do hit that like button, of course, and if you're new to the channel, please do hit subscribe. Double fault from Siegemund. There have been some signs of nerves from her today. All louder. Great point. Aryna Sabalenka. Oh, Aryna's having a good break. Back on serve. That's her boyfriend there. I don't know who that was doing a little jig. It looked a bit like the German Chancellor, but I doubt he's there for this Wimbledon quarterfinal. That volley from Siegemund with the net. It was a chance to go up love 30 at 3-1. And she should have made it. Forehand in the net, though, from Sabalenka. Oh, love 30. That was a yeah or something like that from Laura Siegemund. As that volley from Sabalenka went long. Okay, Sabalenka serving here. Forehand return from Siegemund. Forehand Sabalenka. Backhand Siegemund. That was a chance. 9, she says. I need to translate that, do I? 15-30. Backhand from the turn from Siegemund goes into the net. And from love 30, we're at 30 all. Forehand from Siegemund. Good depth on that. Oh, come on, yes, says Siegemund. As Sabalenka puts a backhand into the net. A very makeable backhand as well for Aryna. And it's break point. Laura Siegemund. Second serve for Siegemund to look at. Ah, Laura, backhand into the net. She was dancing around, ready for that one. Anisimova and Pavlyuchenkova are warming up right now ahead of their quarterfinal. Deuce. Tense moments here on centre court in this Wimbledon quarterfinal. It's been captivating. Backhand return again going into the net from Laura Siegemund. Clenched fist Aryna Sabalenka. Game point for the world number 1. and a 4-3 lead. It'll be the first time in the entire match that she's been ahead on the scoreboard since going down 3-love at the beginning of the match. She has been the one chasing, but now she is the one who's going to be chased if she wins this next point. Second serve, probably going to the backhand, you would imagine, given how the backhand has failed Lauda in this game on a couple of occasions. Let's see where you're going with this serve, Aryna Sabalenka. Double fault. She was going for the back. Double fault, Aryna Sabalenka would deuce. Oh, come on then, she says. Something like that anyway, does Laura Siegemund. She gets a break point after Sabalenka errs on the forehand. Where is your nerve at? Both players right now. Break point. Laura Siegemund. Siegemund chasing these down, but she's on the defense. Sabalenka nets on the backhand. It's a break of serve for Laura Siegemund. She was 4-3 up with a break. Look at that pained expression on Sabalenka's face. She was within touching distance of leading this match for the first time. But Laura Siegemund said, "Not on your Nelly." 9-9-9, says the German. And she leads by 4-3. She's 2 games away from a place in the Wimbledon semi-finals. Wow, I'm emotional, and we're not even at the end of this match yet. Oh. Easily the best match of the day. Pavlyuchenkova and Anisimova, get ready. Who's that under the towel? I think it's Siegemund. Yes, it is. You can just see it from the file thing. Okay, Pavlyuchenkova and Anisimova are underway. Well, well, well. Welcome to those tuning in for the Anisimova-Pavlyuchenkova match. But we are in tense moments on center court. Pavlyuchenkova serving first, by the way, against Anisimova, and she's down 15-30 already. Yes, says Siegemund. That was audible and clear. 15-love. $15-40 Pavlyuchenkova on her serve, by the way, at the beginning of the match. So already some pressure there for the Russian. Second serve for Sabalenka to look at. Anisimova breaks Pavlyuchenkova in the Beginning of the match, so she leads 1-love over Pavlyuchenkova, does the American. I tipped her for a year-end top 10 finish. Tense times. Backhand return. Backhand drop shot from Siegemund is not going to go over the net. And the minute it came off her racket, she did a little jump, but she willed it over the net, but it didn't go over the net. Forehand return from Aryna is going to go awry. 30 all. Pressure, pressure, pressure. 55 of you tuning in right now on YouTube for this Sabalenka Siegemund quarterfinal. Please do hit the like button. And if you haven't done so already, click subscribe. Forehand return from Aryna. Forehand slice from Siegemund. And Sabalenka doesn't like that. And she puts her forehand into the net. So many errors off the racket of Aryna today. Sabalenka and Wimbledon has been a story of so near and yet so far. Semi-finals in 2021 and 2023. I think it was 3-set losses on both occasions, if I'm right. Last year, of course, she was injured. This year, here she is in the quarterfinals. Forehand return. Siegemund is going to put that forehand long. Sabalenka whacks the ball into the ground, even though she won the point. She's just thinking about the match as a whole and how it hasn't quite gone her way thus far. Pavlyuchenkova has a break point, but that comes and goes. Coming up after this on centre court will be Carlos Alcaraz against Cam Norrie. They have a lot to live up to in terms of the drama we're seeing right now. Second serve here. You can cut the tension with a cricket stump. Backhand return from Aryna. Forehand there from slices. Now it's a forehand slice from Aryna. Forehand slices from both players. Listen to the oohs and the ahs from the crowd. Sabalenka trying to pick up the pace. Backhand from Siegemund goes into the net. It's going to be a break point for Sabalenka. Fun. Anisimova holds for 2-love. 7 minutes on the clock there on number 1 court. Siegemund to serve. Break point. 4-3 she leads. First serve desperate. Gets it. Backhand return. Backhand from Siegemund. She comes into the net. Nervy smash. She lands it in. Sabalenka misses the backhand. It was a tough smash. She did really well to deal with it. And to be fair, although it was down the middle and therefore giving Sabalenka a chance, as we see that British actor whose name escapes me. Players are ready. Hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. Siegemund serving here, deuce. Forehand return from Aryna. Oh, that squash shot from Siegemund is not going to work. It's going to land out. Well, that was close. Break point number 2 here for Aryna Sabalenka. There's the old Bertie in the umpire's chair. He only turns up for the big occasions. You won't see him doing a challenger in Porto in August. Advantage Sabalenka. Second serve, clips the net and goes long. Sabalenka Siegemund. Break point for the Belarusian. Siegemund here, second serve. Down the tee. That was easily in. Forehand. Oh, the forehand, little squash shot again. That's the second time in quick succession it happens. It doesn't land in, and Sabalenka's broken back 4-all. Again, Aryna has a chance to lead this match for the first time. Did nerves play a role in that? Not sure. What an epic occasion this is turning out to be. A match worthy of the occasion. We're approaching 3 hours for this match. Umpire upset with some action going on from the crowd between first and second serves. Sabalenka here now, chance to reset. Misses the first serve. Both players now reset, but that's not great news for Lauda Siegemund, who's been in front in this match, fought throughout, including just now, of course, with a break advantage at 4-3. Second serve return goes into the net from Lauda. Lauda, of course, does occasionally do that sort of squash shot or the forehand slice or the pat back, but she seems to be doing it all the time right now, and it's not working. Somehow she needs to remember what's been going on for the previous 2 hours and 45 minutes. But it's tricky. Pressure. This is becoming a tennis match right now, and that is not what Siegemund wants. Like a traditional tennis match, I mean. For those of you keen to know what's going on between Anisimova and Pavlyuchenkova, Anisimova leads 3-love with a double break at the beginning of that match. Sabalenka hit 30-love. Ace. And Aryna Sabalenka now has 3 opportunities to get this game done and lead in this match for the first time. It's the first ace of the match, which is wild, particularly from Aryna Sabalenka giving her serving prowess. 40-love. Fault down the tee. 40-love. Sabalenka here serving. Second serve. That last one that didn't land in was 112 miles an hour. Chop return. Forehand Sabalenka's going to miss. 40-15. Ace number 2. Sabalenka holds for 5-4.
Sabalenka, 0 aces in the entire match. We get to 4-all in the deciding set, and she decides to hit 2 aces. And she holds, and she leads in this match for the first time. 2 hours and 48 minutes of play. And finally, the world number 1 is in front. How is Siegemund going to deal with this now? Having been the leader throughout, now she trails. And she's serving to stay in the match. Boy, oh boy. Oh, Laura. Laura Siegemund. She told me a couple of years ago in Madrid, she once ordered rations instead of tapas by mistake, thinking it was tapas. And she ordered 3 or 4 of these, and she got a huge meal in front of her. Well, now she has a huge deal in front of her as she serves at 4-5 to stay in the match. This is big now. Laura Siegemund. Pavlyuchenkova and Anisimova. 3-love. Anisimova leads, and she has a game point for 4-love. But it's all about Siegemund and Sabalenka is what it's all about right now. Backhand here from Sabalenka. Drop shot from Siegemund is not going to work, I don't think. She's going to be under pressure here at love 15. So, Siegemund here, love 15 on her serve. Oh no. Oh no, love 30. It did feel like it. It did feel like it, didn't it? In that previous game. Forehand return from Sabalenka goes into the net, 15-30. Pavlyuchenkova leads 30 love, by the way. Love 4, but 30 love. She tries to get on the board. Siegemund here, though. Center court. This is where all of our attention is really right now. The whole tennis world is watching at 15-30. Down the tee, forehand return. And that squash shot, I don't like it right now for Siegemund. The backhand goes long from Laura Siegemund, and it's 2 match points for Aryna Sabalenka. It did feel like it at 4-3 that was the last chance for Laura. Back-to-back games for Sabalenka. The break and then the hold. She led for the first time in the match, having trailed from the moment this match began. She went down 3-love, and has not led until now. Siegemund facing 2 match points. Where is your nerve at? And where is your serve at? Where's it going? Forehand return from Sabalenka. Backhand from Siegemund. Forehand Sabalenka. That squash shot there from both players now. Siegemund comes into the net. What a drop shot from Laura Siegemund. Nicely done. Look at her breathing a sigh of relief. 30-40. Wow, wow, wow. Please do hit that like button and, of course, subscribe to the channel if you're new. 30-40, Laura Siegemund serving here. Where are you going with this serve? You are going to go to the forehand of Sabalenka. Forehand from Siegemund. Forehand Sabalenka. Backhand defensive. Is Sabalenka going to put it away? She does. Sabalenka is through to the semi-finals at Wimbledon. Siegemund there and Sabalenka embraced at the net. Painful, painful loss for Siegemund, who led for 98% of the match, but the crucial 2% is the final 2%. It's who wins the last point. And the person who won the last point is the world number 1, Aryna Sabalenka. Wow. Best match of the tournament so far? Let me know in the comment section. But it's Sabalenka who's in the semi-finals. 3-set epic and almost 3 hours. So much to unpack in this match. Siegemund started like a super fast, high-speed train into a 3-love lead. She went with a double break. Sabalenka gets one of those breaks back, and you thought, okay, the fun time is done. And Siegemund was like, no, this is just the beginning of the fun time. And she ended up taking that first set by 6-4. She waves to the crowd. There's some pain there because she knows, oh, look at her team. She's 37 years old. It's probably the last time we see her at this depth of a Grand Slam tournament in the singles at least. She had her chances. We'll come to those in a moment. Sabalenka, though, won the second set 6-2. And again, it felt like the momentum was changing. Again, Siegemund was like, no, this is not the momentum change you all think. She goes up a break. Sabalenka reels her in. She goes up a break again. By the way, at 3-1 in that third set, she has a volley on top of the net at love 15. And you think, okay, she misses that volley. There would have been love 30 and a chance at a double break advantage. She didn't get it. She goes up, though, 4-3. She's there 4-3 with a break. But once Sabalenka broke, she railed out 3 games in a row to ultimately take the match. No doubt. There's so much. So, Sabalenka is into the Wimbledon semi-finals once again. Sabalenka there through in 3. Pretty crazy sets. Pretty crazy. How can we unpack that? Shall we try? Just very quickly and have a quick look at the stats from that 3-set epic. Listen, there's been a lot of 3-set great matches in this tournament, but that for me, probably the most fun of all. 2 hours and 54 minutes. I just feel pretty bad for Laura Siegemund right now. As I said in my initial reaction, she led for 98% of that match. If the match was 2 hours and 54 minutes, she probably led it or didn't trail until about 2 hours and 50 minutes. So for 4 minutes, let's say, Sabalenka was in front. But it's all about being in front for the final 4 minutes or even the final seconds. Sabalenka solves the puzzle is one headline I can see here. Just having a look at some of these stats. It was a tricky one, that's for sure. And she was posed by Laura Siegemund, but solve it she did. 4-6, 6-2, 6-4. So let's have a quick look at some of these stats from the encounter. Sabalenka in the attack for the most part, but it didn't feel that way. It's a deceptive statistic when you come up against a wily opponent such as Siegemund. By the way, Sabalenka hit 2 aces in the entire match, which for a 3-hour epic is not many at all. But they both came in that 4-all game when she holds for 5-4, heaping the pressure on Laura Siegemund that she wasn't quite able to deal with. 4 double faults from Aryna. Long gone are the days when she was double figuring for double faults. Just 4 today, that's fine. 5 from Laura Siegemund, that's no problem for her either. First serves in, both well over 60% for both players. In fact, Laura hitting nearly 70%. Second serve point 1 from both players, just a fraction over 30%. I mean, it added to the fun and the intrigue in what was a break fest. But because Siegemund was always getting the sort of early breaks, I say early breaks, she got the early breaks in the first and third set. She was the one that always led. The net point stat, by the way, was a healthy sort of 70-odd%, I think, for Sabalenka at one stage, but it did drop to 58%. But of course, she's coming to the net 43 times. Now, that is not just a tactic. That is also because of the way Siegemund brings you into the net with the drop shots and the slices, etc., and the short balls that are often intentional. I did feel that Siegemund, though, in the last 2 or 3 games, there was too many of those sort of forehand squash shot returns and mid-rally sort of squash shot forehands that were just not spinny enough and not low enough, and they were often going deep and sometimes out. Just in those last 2 or 3 games, just when it mattered most. 29 winners from Sabalenka and 28 from Siegemund. Unforced errors, by the way, both of them hitting in the mid-30s there, but both of them, by the way, as well, covering around about 3 kilometers. But it is Aryna Sabalenka into a Wimbledon semi-final once again. Look forward to seeing you on the other side for Pavlyuchenkova and Anisimova.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.